Then I have a BFA in advertising, graphics, and photography, but completed all the course requirements every class.
Lately, I haven't been able to do it because it's
closest thing
I,
time.
yeah, it really is.
The battle's
That's not a hat.
St. Prisoner of War and his date. He was Tennessee, and then the other one was from Texas, but I'm not seeing it on his where. Captured near Petersburg.
1864. Wow.
There's just saying Prisoner of War on his records.
They gave a talk to the Civil War Round Table a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right next door to it.
Oh, okay. All
My
right.
parents still. Oh, we picked it up.
They're coming up Friday.
Yeah, you just need the horses.
You over by the hideout?
Not that far over. I'm right off of 190 in south right now. So I mean that one.
I wonder if this was like, how do you want to say it? One that went, and one of these. Old Sycamore mower.
Look at that one over there.
You ever see the history, go down and see the history of the Nicholson Bridge? Can you look up or not?
Probably not.
They said there's guns and everything else on the table.
No.
Because it's against the law. Yeah, like the
It's a lot better when you're looking at it.
This is a Sharps carbine, 54 caliber Sharps. Reproduction, 54 caliber. Right down there on the end of the table is an original Sharps carbine, 52 caliber. You'll have to ask this man here because I never say it right. They're identical bore. The 52 and 54 shoot the same because we measure to the inside of the grooves, the rifling, and they measure to the outside, correct?
Yeah, they measure the bore, which is the smallest dimension, and then the rifling is deeper.
And that's a primer.
What's the difference?
So it's like the same thing, just smaller.
Yep. Yep.
Smoking. I'll get some better for you.
So, pump organ.
Do you want?
Like that?
I think if I had the right
History of the
teacher,
school right here.
but I couldn't follow her. She was too strict.
Nellie
School.
Shays was the first teacher, and her ancestors came in, or her progeny, whatever, came in, and I guess it's been, she might have been the great-great-great-grandma of some of them. And
Where was it located originally?
up on Grove, it was the Grove School located on Shea Hill.
Shea Hill, okay,
Which
New
is
Milford.
southwest of here.
So it's an actual old building.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
And they moved it, they had somebody sit on the top and move the power lines to get it here.
That's cool. Most of the buildings here are like that? The original that they moved?
No,
Okay.
I'm not
But this one
sure.
is though.
This one is.
Wow, nice. Thank you.
When they came in, they had the steer.
Series. I'll try to spit out quick here. One little nugget that I can expand on, but I would like to say in literary world, I hope there's a couple of things about the series that have never been done before in literature. If they have, at least rarely. And what I mean by that particularly is that now book 1 and book 2 are direct sequels. Book 2 picks up right where book 1 leaves off. And then book 3 and book 4, instead of being chronological, they are a matching book to each book from the counter perspective.
Wow. So it's not one way or the other, it's the whole.
So the first 4 books are the first 2 from this particular union perspective. The second books are not always, but very common, same location, they don't even know this, they, whatever, and it's an opposite perspective.
Yeah, that's great.
Need a cap.
Replica of a 12-pound mountain howitzer.
12.
It would shoot a 12-pound ball, steel ball, or canister, or other grape shot and things like that. It was used mainly in support of cavalry. They would take it out with 4 horses, follow the cavalry around, and they would be used wherever they were. It's not like some of the larger cannons that we used against buildings, against walls, against breastworks. It's mainly used anti-personnel. Quite often they would use canister. Oh, my Massachusetts accent. Oh my word, I thought I stopped that. Canister, which is basically a can filled with balls, with musket balls, and act like a shotgun. It would just spread out, and it was a terrible piece of ammunition. In the case of a ball, they had a bunch of infantry in front of them. They would aim it low and just bounce the ball across the field. And you can imagine what would happen as it went across the field. So that will just amplify. You know, what do you do when you're trying to hear somebody far away? What? So you don't want to do that. It'll make it even louder than it is.
So plug your ears and open your mouth. You've got to open your mouth.
Oh, it's their funeral march. I'm going to call it as I see it. No, wait till pushing a cannon around.
That's to me.
Yeah, that's what we never done.
Yeah, that's better. Something like that. But,
as they got closer, you would basically change ammunition. We have a 3-inch.
First Virginia, post on the limber.
You have to see where it's hitting.
Take implement.
Implements. Candidate.
It's all yours, Lieutenant.
Thank you, sir.
Fence standing.
Search the piece. What sponge? Dry sponge. Just the one?
Yeah, one's good for now.
Take one. Chest up. Pass around. Chest down.
We're shooting about 7
Dance
ounces of
around.
gunpowder. No projectile, obviously.
Come on.
Load. Ram. Prick and prime.
100 yards, canister shot.
Gun is ready to fire.
Lieutenant, I think they're ready for us. Prepare! Fire!
That's good to stand next to a howitzer.
On double sponge, sir.
Yeah, double for this one.
Little more?
Wait a minute, see if we hear any more gunfire.
We didn't use
Just up.
anything huge.
Pass around. Chest down. Load.
Skirmishers on our right.
Prick and prime.
Brick and prime.
Shoot the drummer. Gun is ready to fire, Captain. Canister, 100 yards. Prepare.
Ask Santa for one of those. While you're charging out. Single shot rifle.
Brick in front. I got 2 more rounds here.
24.
Oh, that's that little gun over there.
Prepare. Fire. Let's oblique left and shoot at that gun up there.
I flew over here last Saturday and I saw a eagle flying over.
Wow, I think I saw there was one.
I'm thinking, what probably is it like it is now?
Think how
They're
loud.
doing the little gun over there, and there's one down there.
Think how
Got 3
loud
guns?
a naval gun is. When it goes off. 12-inch naval gun.
Just down. Pants the round.
Way up there. Way up on the top of the building.
Oh, I saw already. I thought you meant up
Loading up there. Brick and prime. Gun is ready to fire, Captain. All right, let's wait and see what they're doing here. They're loading. We caught them napping, sir. There. Fire! Wait, they're wearing blue. They don't fall down.
Oh, there's another group down there.
Here, hold this. I'll shoot at you first. Yeah, that's us. They can't see me. Don't worry, I got backup.
Right. Brick and prime. The other way up? Yep.
A lot.
That's them over there. Okay.
Come. Throw that corner.
Loading and holding.
Hey!
We got infantry out front. Miss. You guys be down.
Oh, please.
Gas is that gun up there. Are we loaded? We are, sir. All right. Ready to fire. Fire!
What?
Exactly.
Can I go yet?
You're taking Jackson where you are. You're taking me.
We'll do a couple more. Then we're gonna line up. Gun is ready to fire, Captain. Fire!
Shut! Shut!
One more. Cut it down for now and go up with their pistols, all right?
Yeah, it's good to be the guy in charge.
One more.
Sit around and do nothing.
Pass around. Advance round. Take out that drummer.
Please.
Whoa.
Yes.
Ram.
Hey, get the drum for me. Come on.
Quick and prime.
Quick and then prime.
Another one? Shoot at the infantry. What's fun?
This is the last. Where's the rest of the dismount? Down below?
Oh, I'm dead, Deputy. Nobody knows where they are. You'll find them in a minute.
Chest up. Pass around.
Oh, what, Deputy?
Chest down. Advance around. Canister, sir. Canister. 100 yards. Quick and prime, double canister.
Got one?
Gun is ready to fire, sir. All right, last fire. They're moving out. Prepare. Fire. Captain, prepare to take sidearm.
Oh,
it doesn't matter. We'll do that.
Oh, that guy's down.
He's just sleeping. He's lazy. Now they're gonna shoot at me.
Hey! Fire!
Envelope, we'll
Captain,
shoot.
I believe they got those Templars from
Did that hit your chest?
Hey! Hey! Flank them, boys, if you can. Go. Aim. Fire!
Do we try to flank them, sir?
Go ahead. Flank. Get on their flank. Take them on, Lorena. Right wheel. Think we got him in a pinch, gentlemen. Get that drummer.
You don't like the drummer.
Catch this.
We got this one.
He died.
Touch hot. What do you say, sir?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look, they're fighting, Natalie.
Look over by the tents.
Boys, come down behind him.
Oh, look at this. Oh, turn your camera that way quickly.
Get him, boys! Good afternoon, gentlemen. Consider yourself captured. Now we're back. That was a hot. Brother Billy Yank doesn't understand surrender. Attention! Uncover! Uncover.
What are they doing?
Recover! You may have your flag back. There you go, man.
Say hello to the boys in Andersonville.
Good move, gentlemen. Good move. Come right up behind them boys. You got luck. Thank you for coming. That's just a small taste of what happened.
Clean them out.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad you came. Now, if we're here tomorrow, things will be different. Great move, guys. They'll be quicker.
Yeah, they'll change them.
Just wait a second.
Oh, that's cute. That's a good idea. This guy, it's to be different. Different.
And there's even a picture of my Sally inside too.
I've seen stone stoves like this when I was up in Canada.
Dishwasher or dishwasher?
Yes, no. Green Drawer has a washing machine like this. We were at this place and this.
Warren? Oh,
You should get them too. If you go down all the time, you should ask them if it's.
hi, buddy.
Oh my goodness, when it's going.
There's a dentist office. My grandma, I remember, on a wheelchair like that. He's an eye doctor. Took all the.
No, just the lenses. Wow.
Would be prescribed for a cough.
Yeah, maybe it was a
Otherwise
veterinarian.
known as whiskey. What is a Mortising machine? You look that up. My friend Chris made a video like this.
Oh, they're doing something again.
Maybe they don't have any.
Was that here?
I still have one of them.
Really?
Way back.
I don't know where I saw it, but I have seen. Like, look at this has,
But they would lay out the dead bodies.
because you would sit here and you would cuddle.
Yeah, on your bedroom and that.
And the chain would.
But I think somebody was actually laid out. There's this.
This, I'm not sure. But this might be. No, we can tell because my camera is running. It's clicking slow.
Facebook with simply
Good picture of your guns.
That was written by what would become Confederate General Hardie, but he wrote it before the war, so both sides used Hardie's manual aside from a couple others. Hardie's would have the order arms and then shoulder arms would bring that up like that. And that's like one example from Hardie's. Now Gillum's, which my particular Fort Virginia would use, their shoulder arms would be shoulder arms like that. And if I take a step here, that would be my shoulder arms. So, order arms. Be down, shoulder, arms. Present, arms. And now if you were to ever double quick, and it would seem awkward, but it's actually done this way to avoid awkwardness, right shoulder shift, all the way up here almost on the collarbone. And actually when you support that like this, you can actually move around quite quickly without it wobbling, waving around, etc. to where that would be used for any quickened march of any sort. And then order arms, bayonet, charge. Ha! And once again, that would be your sword. And even in Gillum's, it gets more complicated because this would be the shoulder arms, but the sergeant's carry would be like the hair. So each sergeant would have their gun like this in Gillum's, where in Hardie's, all soldiers are holding their rifle like that.
Maybe you already did.
I think he did, yeah.
People can't drive.
A rocking chair.
Sit on it.
probably have like 3 different. Mine's still going, but it's right at the last bar. So
Basically the same thing, but the structure's a little bit different. One's German and one's Swedish.
So see you later.
Bye.
Oh, wow.
yeah, I probably have to get that.
Gibson Jr. Laney Gibson Jr.
No, this is. I thought I was gonna be done, and no, I'm not.
Money order. I have one of those pictures. I have Raymond's picture. Stick your key in and lock the box.
Hi.
Hi.
It's in her hand. Then the other
Congressional
one's
Ministers
wrapping
of
a rope
America.
around your arm. You're not supposed to shoot people.
It's not because
Money orders. Get your money order over here.
Oh, they look like wanted posters in them.
Oh, there's one over here, like.
It had arms on it. They're gone.
Look at the books, yeah, look at the books.
Ah, buy them up. Let's see. I
Look.
really, their handwriting
Look,
is so.
look at this.
With some other musicians, and they were like, I was really surprised.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back them out.
Did you hear that cannon roar today?
I start out over the fire. I have my beef tallow and it has a little bit of coconut oil in it. And we do the rendering process at home where we grind up the fat, we take all the pieces of meat and gristle out of it, and we add the coconut oil. When we come here for demonstration, we melt the tallow down, and then I mix lye and water in this bowl. And then when that's melted off the fire, I pour it in this bowl. And then they both have to be about the same temperature when I mix them together. Modern soap makers will use thermometers. I kind of feel the sides of the bowl. If they're about the same temperature, then I'll mix them together. And then I add my oil in for the scent. And then I have to keep stirring it until it gets thick like a pancake batter. And where it traces on top. And it's starting to trace. It's not quite ready to pour yet into the mold, but it's getting there. And once it's thick enough, I'll pour it into the mold. And these are 2 batches that I did earlier today. This is a whiskey bourbon, and this one is patchouli, and this one's Applejack that I'm working on now. And tomorrow we'll cut them into the bars, and they'll look like those over there. That's stuff I made last weekend. And then it takes 6 weeks to cure. So 6 weeks, and that's for the pH of the lye to shift to the neutral level for your skin. And once it gets to that level, you can use it on your skin. If I wanted to add fresh flowers or herbs right now, the lye is too strong and it would kill the plant. So what I would want to do if I want to add anything like that into the soap is I'd have to let it cure for the 6 weeks. Then I'd have to mill the soap where I grind it up and remelt it down, adding in the plant because it won't kill the plant at that level because it's at neutral. And actually, I think I'm ready to pour. So you get to actually watch that. So that'll be good.
John Jacob asked
And every batch is different. Sometimes it takes me 20 minutes of stirring, sometimes an hour and a half. I know the first batch today took forever to set up. There we go.
Yes.
These are all ones that you did.
We started these at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. They've been dipped about 33 times.
Wow, that's a lot of dipping.
We start with a wick that's only this width. This one's been done maybe 4 times. And we just dip over and over and over again. Every time it leaves a little bit more diameter until eventually it's done. I have one that I've cut in half, and you can see that it actually looks like one solid piece. That means we did a good job. Everything fused together correctly. If it looks like rings in a tree, that means something went wrong somewhere.
Quite an outfit because this guy got wounded in the Shenandoah Valley.
Clip up there.
Yep.